Aged care funding has been in the media a lot recently, and the reason is that from the 1st of July 2014 there have been a number of significant changes. Very simply, we're living longer and the government can no longer afford to fund at the level they have been. There are a number of changes you need to be aware of. One of them is the co-contribution payment. This is the amount that you will be required to pay towards your aged care costs. The co-contribution payment will be determined by your income and your assets. For many people, that will include part of your family home and the accommodation bond that you pay when you enter the aged care facility. So what does this mean to you? Well, our analysis suggests that for most people, they will pay more towards their aged care costs. The good news is if you plan ahead, there are simple and effective strategies that will minimise your costs without compromising the level of care. The key is to start planning now. Neil, in the media, self-managed super funds have been reported as pushing up house prices. Is that true?
Peter, I don't think so. We're currently seeing around 4% of house sales going into self-managed super funds.
Okay. Well, self-managed super funds seem to be growing at a much faster rate than other investments. What's the reason for that?
Well, I think investors are enjoying a couple of areas. One is flexibility, so that's the flexibility the self-managed super fund offers with choice of investments, such as direct property, and control. And that's control over the costs of their super fund, which could be an example where those costs are fixed, like the cost of an annual audit or a fund's tax return.
Neil, if someone was looking to set up a self-managed super fund, what are some of the tips and traps?
I think it's important, Peter, that they understand, can they firstly be a trustee of a self-managed super fund? And then do they have the time to commit to the administrative obligations of running their self-managed super fund? I think the next element would be making sure that the trust deed is going to meet the investment strategy they've decided on for their fund. And then the third piece would be there's great estate planning benefits inside an SMSF, so making sure they get the structure right, keeping the fund complying, avoiding any administrative penalties, and the best way to do that is to seek professional advice before they start from an SMSF specialist advisor.
That's good advice. Thank you, Neil.
Thank you.
I'm joined today by Coralie Pratt, the Chief Executive Officer of Little Heroes Foundation. Little Heroes is a charity that does remarkable work in raising funds to help seriously ill children. Welcome, Coralie.
Thanks, Peter.
Coralie, I know you work very hard to attract financial support. What sort of things do you do?
Well, Peter, the charity space is extremely competitive. Therefore, it's important for us to engage our partners to build a relationship that is beneficial to us both. Therefore, we like to offer money can't buy experiences for our supporters, such as participation in the West End Slowdown event later in the year, participating in an adventure tour like the New York Marathon, or using our celebrity or sporting ambassadors at a staff event.
Coralie, I see Little Heroes being very successful at attracting and nurturing its referral partners. What sort of tips do you have for us?
Well, it's really important that you make your supporters feel part of your team, and in our case, all our corporate partners are considered our corporate heroes. And it's also important to keep them informed about how their contribution is changing the lives and supporting seriously ill children and their families.
Coralie, you're doing a remarkable job. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks, Peter.